Last time on Age of Strife, Lord Kell William, head of the noble household Thorne, was attacked in the streets of Wadsworth after returning from adventuring in the ruins and rubble of Nixon. The town guard interceded, forcing the muggers to scurry away with the haul Lord Thorne won from Nixon, gold, silver, and an interesting tome written in foreign language. Lord Thorne was carried back to his estate, raving about being blinded by a warlock with a blue beard during the attack. The young generation of House Thorne paused only to pick up arms as they took up the hunt. The chase saw the Thorne family utilize many tactics: intelligence, wisdom, strength, creativity, charisma, and brute force to pick up the trail of the muggers. The trail of the chase led Ginger and Ty Baradite to the Swampwash Tavern in the northwest corner of town. Within the tavern, they both quickly laid eyes on the blue-bearded man himself and the gang that surrounded him, charging at them despite the odds, but they quickly succumbed to the many clubs. Lightning quick, with thrown dagger and short swords blurred, Luther and Stefan advanced, killing one of the gang members and knocking another unconscious before the gang could react to their presence. This display of strength caused the Bluebeard gang to flee as they split up and escaped into the outside. Luther captured the barkeep, Belle, and had her arrested for harbouring a warlock, while pocketing all of the wealth in the tavern as an aside. Sheriff Bruce arrested Belle and the unconscious gang member. The family returned home injured, while Lord William announced his retirement, passing the burden of providing to his children. The party recovered, plotting their vengeance, laying plans and traps to hunt them down. Ginger sparred with her elderly uncle, trying to improve to not be weak again. Stefan involved the merchants in the luxury market, putting them on alert for stolen goods. Ty Baradite put a very odd request to their engineering cousin Maximilian to draw up some body modification plans to weaponize handless goblins. This obviously brought concern, but with the backing of Luther, Maximilian agreed to the request. Luther, Ginger, and Ty Baradite headed off to the sheriff's station to question the prisoners. With the threat of torture, Brad quickly saw reason and spilled everything about the gang, including that he had no knowledge of Bluebeard being a sorcerer. And to their relief, they learned the location of all the gang's safe houses in the city. Luther headed off disguised to scout the locations out, while Ginger and Ty Baradite had Sheriff Bruce organize 6 of his town guard to assist the party in crushing the gang come nightfall. They found the gang in a shack outside the ruins of the old Champion's Hall. The sheriff kicked down the unlocked door, which sent him flying into the shack, running into several prepared club swings, but with the help of the party, they quickly dispatched the 3 gang members, and a quick search by the guards located a trapdoor hidden away. Ty Baradite jumped into the hole in an attempt to prove his manhood with the sheriff, and the rest of the party jumped down, engaging and overwhelming Bluebeard and the remaining gang, showing their father's military drilling as they worked as one with shield walls and unit tactics, even keeping Bluebeard alive for questioning. This struck a chord, and as Ty Baradite tried to make his exit, he foolishly shoulder-checked the sheriff. In response, the sheriff tripped Ty Baradite, causing him to fall on his face. In a rage, Ty Baradite shot back up and drew his sword. Putting the family first, Stefan and Luther subdued Ty Baradite and calmed him as the sheriff muttered about Ty Baradite learning his place, but mollified enough to leave with Stefan to spend a night drinking to both laugh about Ty Baradite together. Will the party find the treasure taken from their father? Will they find the truth behind the assault on their figurehead? Will they be able to reverse their father's blindness? Find out now on Age of Strife.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Age of Strife. How are you guys doing today?
Brilliant, thanks.
Grand. Good.
Good. Yeah. So, as some of you guys watching the live stream might have noticed, we're an hour off from our usual time. That's because the lovely daylight savings time has come to an end here in America. That's not as bad as the poor Australians have it because they just started their daylight savings time, so it's a nice big 2-hour shift for them. Something I've never really considered before.
No, we've all learned something about time zones. It's makes sense.
Yep.
The world would be a better place if we just had one universal time zone.
Ooh, like China?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I'm not familiar with their time.
Yeah, all of China is on Beijing time. The entire country.
See,
it's an interesting
there's
approach.
a reason China has stood the test of time. Because they have one time.
Yep. One part of China, the sun comes up at 6 a.m. Another time of China, the sun comes up at 10 a.m. No?
Wow.
That would be really weird.
That would
but
be
I guess
very
you
weird.
just get used to it.
It's 2 p.m. Time to get up.
It's like advanced military time, kind of.
I guess we could all just use UTC, or we could all use West Coast time because we know this is the best time zone to be in.
Works for me.
I think Eastern time would be the best because it's the best. New York, Washington, DC, and all that,
I think we should probably use Hawaiian time because we all just want to be there anyway. So let's just stick to the Hawaiian time zone.
Argument one.
Yeah. Well, so what have we been up to in the last couple of weeks since our last game? Anything interesting going on for any of you players?
So, about an hour ago, I had my friend round to record the recap. Shout out.
Yay.
Thanks for that.
Fantastic. Has there been anything else going on, or is that the sum of our 2 weeks?
Oh no, I've actually been on holiday from my work this week, so just not doing anything.
I TPK'd an adventuring party of 8 people with 4 raptors.
Raptors?
Wow.
Yeah.
Like velociraptors?
I rebranded a different dinosaur in the monster manual with raptor because raptor's just cooler.
Mm-hmm. You
pretty
ripped
OP.
them to shreds with raptors.
Yes, it was grand.
Are you sure you want to say that? That sounds like such a great idea. I think we might have to introduce raptors somewhere in here.
It was fun. It was fun.
Well, just think dinosaurs are just like overgrown lizards. Not quite smart like the dragons, but they're good.
It was one of those moments where I didn't realize how strong the monster was that I was using until it's too late. Everybody's dead. It's sorry guys.
Yeah, that's hard to recover from. Monsters being too weak, you can recover from. Too strong, you're in trouble. Actually,
It was
my DM.
my first time DMing after being tortured by Neil, so maybe he rubbed off a little.
Actually, I
swamp death.
I had the same thing. After 2 years of playing this campaign, finally got some henchmen to become my men at arms and that save them from a village which was being occupied, and they'd been guerrilla warfaring for a while. But the DM just blocked them up as just a scrubby type thing. And anyway, on the way back, we faced an equal challenge rating encounter, which was good for us at level 10. But for my level 1 henchmen, they just got insta-killed. And I was so salty because it's been 2 years for me to get these things. I finally got them, and then they just got insta-killed, and the DM lost control. I've been salty.
Oh, no. Well, let's hope that you guys don't die today. Only fan
What could
flames.
possibly happen?
Uh-oh, it's happening. The lag that we predicted is happening. Dear God, my ISP is a piece of shit. Alright, but it looks like it's fixing itself, sort of.
You need the NBN.
One of these days, we're going to get a real good internet provider here in the United States.
You just got to move somewhere with Google Fiber, I guess.
That would be beautiful.
Yeah.
One day. Anyway, let's keep going because it's stabilized itself. Let's talk about what's happening this week in game. So last week, King Orwyn Ironworm was crowned. His father had died. Arvus Ironworm had ruled for 59 years. He was 29 when he took command of Kalia in the second year of the war after his father was killed in the Blackthorn Forest. Since the end of the war, Kalia has been splitting into two. The Western Duchy, overseen by Arvus's younger son, Duke Maldris Ironworm, has been experiencing drought, famine, a creeping desert, and the raiding of villages and sacking of towns. Failing resources and an imminent threat, they have desperately needed help from the east. However, the Easterners have problems of their own. An expensive war against a pirate fleet, a town leveled by elves, and sightings of a red dragon have prevented the Eastern lords from supporting their Western countrymen. Even as King Orwyn Ironworm takes the throne, tensions once soothed by the aged and wise king have begun to flare. And as rumors on everyone's lips are those of civil war. Talk of this kind only adds fuel to the fire and drives the kingdom closer to war. It is hoped by all that the two brothers may be able to hold the kingdom together. And after King Orwyn Ironworm has taken the throne, he has taken 1/8 of the men from each Eastern force. Each Eastern lord has taken 1/8 of their men, combined it into a relief force for the Westerners under the command of his brother. These troops are being sent to the west to give breathing room so the Westerners can build up some strength and not need reinforcements later down the line. This new military unit is being called the Black Guard after the banner of their commander, Duke Maldris Ironworm, who flies a black dragon banner over a field of brown. So that is the news of what's happening in the kingdom as a whole. Now, you guys are way to the north in Wadsworth. The Countess here has marshaled her share of troops and sent them off southward to join up with the Black Guard, which is leaving this area even less well defended. Each of the noble families that has land and has troops has had to rally some of their troops to send them off. Luckily, you guys don't have any land. You don't have any people to levy to press them into war. So you guys just get passed over.
So this war with pirates, I'm assuming the pirates lost.
Yeah.
Are the pirates all gone, or is there still a remnant?
This was like 20 or 30 years ago. But it devastated a few towns and kind of economically wrecked part of the country. So, we know where we are. We all just listened to that recap together, so we're all 100% caught up on what happened last week. So, where are you guys when we come into game? I believe everyone is alive and conscious?
Yes. Are we picking up on October 30th?
Yes.
Okay. And I do have a question about something that happened last session, Neil.
Go for it.
So, counting the members of the Bluebeard gang, I believe there was 3 that were killed on the top level of the shack, and then there was 3 that was killed beneath. So that would be a total of 6 when there should have been 7 from our interrogation with Brad. Is my counting off?
Does that include the woman?
Sheriff Bruce, I believe, got a killing blow. Luther got a killing blow, and Ginger got a killing blow on the top level of the shack. And then below in the bottom level of the shack, there was Bluebeard, the chick, and the crossbow guy. I could have been missing someone on the top level, though. So I guess if there was another person on the top level, my character would have seen it.
Also, I think there was some hesitancy when Neil got Brad to actually divulge how many. I think the number changed a couple of times, so it could also just be Neil failed his int check.
I'm going to say you have the information you have currently. If there is some confusion over the number of people in the gang, that is confusion your players have as well as your confusion your characters have as well as your players.
Okay.
Not everybody is always 100% honest. Sometimes things go missing. There might be a missing gang member, or maybe you miscounted, or maybe he was counting wrong. Maybe you guys didn't include him. Any number of things could come up with slightly different numbers, so play it out that way.
Okay, sounds good.
So what time is it when we come back?
I think it's the next day, right? The next morning.
Is it the next day, or did we take a week in between?
I think it's the next day. I would have liked to take a week in between, but there are some pressing matters with,
Yeah.
wizards and stuff. So we're just going to keep rolling, and we'll find an extra week somewhere for you guys to take a break.
Okay. So, Bluebeard in my notes is at -3, by the way.
I wouldn't mind going to check out all the safe houses, the two that we haven't gone through yet.
Sure.
Yes. Definitely.
If it was the next day, it wouldn't be October 30th.
What day would that be then?
You said, Ginger, that he was at -3.
He was at -3 when we stabilized him because Neil wanted to let us know that in case people forget.
Okay, I believe whatever day it was, we would have come out with it being October 30th before. So then that would put us at October 27th. Or wait, if it was one day, then wouldn't it be October 24th? Because the last session began on October 23rd. So if it's one day later, it'd be October 24th.
Yeah, but that last session took more than one day. Last session took many days, right? Because some of you guys were knocked to negative HP and had.
Oh yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, I think
So-
I think last session took a full week of time.
Okay.
With
If it
everyone
was-
being unconscious and not.
So if Bluebeard was at -3, it was determined that he would come back to consciousness on the 30th. So then it would be October 27th.
It's been a couple of weeks. I don't quite recall. Does that sound about right to everyone?
Yeah, it wasn't a full week because we had the healing and the herbalism operating together, giving a lot of healing. So I think we had 2 days rest.
Okay.
From memory.
So it's actually the 27th. Bluebeard won't wake up until the 30th.
Okay.
That sounds about right.
Okay.
And Bluebeard is being kept in our house, did we say?
No, he's being kept in the sheriff's station
Okay.
in jail.
And I guess Belle is still there too.
Yep.
Okay.
No, Bell's
Brad-
been released back to the Swamp Wash, which is
Oh.
Okay.
has
Lucky
been
lady.
emptied of its treasury.
And I still have the keys.
Yeah.
But, we get in.
And the other mugger, Brad, who gave us the information.
He's still in the sheriff's station as well.
Okay.
So
So-
the town is yours.
So I imagine we're all like in the family sitting room or something. Okay. So yeah, I walk in. Excuse me, guys. I've been kind of wrestling over reflecting on my interrogation of Brad and how everything went down. From what Brad had said, I believe there should have been 7 people in the gang. I only count 6 that we encountered. And we still have 2 hideouts of theirs that we never investigated.
Well, if there's a missing person, what does it matter? That they're just going to be a mugger, right? So,
My only concern about there being a missing person is we still have a lot of everything that was stolen from Father is still missing. So
Yes, that's the more pressing issue.
I guess our leads on recovering that is 1, this missing person, and 2, these 2 hideouts. And Mila's father in this room with us.
Nope.
Also, I have another concern, and this one I might be reading too much into things. So, we originally had the understanding that Father believes fervently that he was blinded by magic. The interrogation of Brad is fully convinced there is no magic in the gang. When we attacked the gang, there was no magic used. So was Father wrong, Or is it possible maybe someone is setting up this blue-bearded man and we have the wrong person altogether?
Magic. We don't even know how it works.
I have no idea how magic works, but Father's eyes are perfectly fine. I've seen himself. There's no eye injury, so it's not a physical blindness.
I think there are questions we can ask Bluebeard. I dare say he probably wouldn't have let his minions know that he had magic, because then he would have been, well, destroyed.
There were thugs
If my looking too much into this turns out to be correct and we do have the wrong guy, what do we do with Bluebeard? Do we kill him?
He's obviously guilty, whether or not he's the right guy.
Everyone in that gang is guilty of attacking our family. What do you think we should do to them?
Kill them. If we do have the wrong guy, who is the right guy? If we do have the wrong guy, this moves from a random act of violence in the street to something more strategic. Someone set these people up. And in order for someone to set them up, there would have been a reason, which leads me to believe someone knew what Father had. Maybe we should talk to Father and see if anybody knew what he had.
Yes, but we must be patient, and we must talk to Bluebeard first before deciding that he's innocent.
Well, regardless, we're all thinking too much. Let's just get out there and go check out these safe houses. If we can find the treasure in there.
Before you say we do that, I believe it's in our best interest to make it stealthy. I don't think we want anyone to know that we're going into these safe houses.
I can tell you this, I'm not leaving our house without my armor, my shield, and my sword.
I should go alone.
I'm lying. There's
How about this? Let me propose this. We all go together. Me, Ginger, and Stefan be armored up. You go ahead of us, scout it out, and if you run into danger, blow your horn, and we will be right there with our armor. I still don't know how I feel about you going alone.
We have destroyed the gang. We have destroyed the gang. Let's just go in. There might be one left. Let's just go in, clear out the safe houses, find what's there, and then we can plan for the future. Again, we're all overthinking too much. Let's just go out there.
Yeah, we'll go there, and we'll go armed and armored. And if there is just one person left, they're smart enough to surrender. We don't even need to declare ourselves. Just like,
we need to think about how this appears. We can't go around in an armed unit knocking down doors.
Well, we have the ability. We can do as we wish.
We can.
I think I have a pass. I think I have a pass on worrying about how things look. To the public, I am not one of you guys.
That's because you're not.
I give Stefan a very cruel look. Normally, I let everything blow over me, but after everything with the sheriff, I'm still pretty ticked off, so I give him a pretty harsh look. And then I look back to Luther. I feel like I can go out armored, and the world will just see me as an armed guard of yours and not a brother. I wish it was not so, but I do not have the appearance you all have.
We've done that before. We wear armor. Brother, you don't wear armor, and we can be your lackeys. I'm sure you enjoy that.
I suppose that will be fun.
Went over pretty well whenever the sheriff's station to investigate or to interrogate Brad me and Ginger at least, and I look back to Stefan, somebody else was out doing other things. And I look back to Luther.
Well, regardless of all that, we need to find this treasure that was taken. Our house needs it, and for that we need to hit the safe houses. And we'll do it how we discussed.
On the
I go and armor up.
On that subject, Ty,
Yes.
could we speak in private just in a little bit?
Sure.
Okay.
Come with me while I armor up.
All right. So, this treasure that was stolen from Nixon, you were thinking about that, right? So was I.
Yes.
Our father couldn't be the only one interested in the treasures there. There must be other people in town who know that it exists.
Yes.
So, who else would know?
I really don't know. I don't know too many people that follow Father's line of work.
They would need to be near his age to even know a small amount of it.
I think these are questions for Father. He'd probably be able to answer them a lot better than we could. So
right.
Maybe we follow up with investigating what we have to investigate now, and if we turn up no leads, and maybe a conversation with Father, according to it being the will of Luther.
You don't have to talk like that, He's just as much your brother as my brother.
I look to Ginger and I kind of accept her words, like a moment where like you just kind of see like stress falling off of Tybarodite, and then he continues armoring up.
Okay, I'll go fetch my armor and equipment as well.
Okay. The two of you are armed and armored.
Me as well.
All right. Everyone is armed and armored except
Hi.
for Luther.
Hold on. Well, I'm also switching to some common clothes and making a disguise check.
Okay. Go ahead and make me that disguise check.
12. No.
Not so great.
Disguising myself has not gone well so far.
Can we tell that his disguise isn't so well? Like,
Not really. You guys know him too well. You can always see through his disguises. He's your brother.
I come out looking dirty
Fair
in
enough.
common clothes and like, what's going on? What is he trying to do?
Got like a wig on backwards.
Yeah. I say, all right, let's go.
it's like have you seen those like crappy Donald Trump impersonators and they wear the crappy wigs?
Yeah.
It's one of those crappy wigs.
All right. The party heads out to go inspect houses, safe houses.
And I think what I'm going to tell everybody to do is stop, like, a pretty good distance away from the building I'm going to go into.
Mm-hmm.
So just making sure that nobody's going to see us all together going into the building.
Sure. You go from house to house, safe house to safe house, knocking on doors to which there's never a reply. Eventually, you find a way to force your way in, and all of them are empty.
Okay.
We tear apart everything. Like we pull up planks. We search through everything. If there's anything, we're finding it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Or I
we
guess
tear the
I would
places
be the only
apart.
one in there, I guess. But yeah.
But you ransack the places, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
This is the
Going
definition
pretty
of ransacking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
cool.
we're pulling out floorboards, so.
Rip pillows open.
You find in some of these safe houses 10 gold,
All right.
100 silver, 600 copper. You find 2 crossbows stashed away under some floorboards, along with 50 bolts. They're light crossbows, by the way.
Okay.
And there's other, like, useless supplies, like, a couple of strands of rope and cups and silverware, flatware, wooden flatware, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Things that are useless, or not useless, but of no real value. Is there anything else you find in any of these places? No, that's pretty much it.
I can't go CSI looking for some blue hairs or.
Give me a perception check at -5 to see if you can find any blue hairs.
This is gonna go well. Oh,
No, you find no blue hairs.
all right. Well, I guess I come out to the hideouts each time with the stack that gets a little fatter. And once we check the last one, I say, I haven't found the treasure. I don't know where it went.
It seems weird to me that they could offhand it so quickly. They must have had a buyer already organized, which does fit into the story of Rhea getting word of a special deal, a special mission.
If that happened, though, my thought process on that is if they stole the goods and they gave the goods to this buyer, where is their compensation? They just attacked a noble in the street. They stole from this noble, and what do they get in return? 10 gold?
Yeah, the value of the goods would have been far superior than that. You are right.
Something-
That makes sense.
I don't know what we're missing, but I think we're missing something.
All right, Bluebeard is our next lead.
Yes, we'll have to wait for him to wake up.
All right. Did you find any?
I think I have a question for Brad that may answer some questions. And it's going to seem like a stupid question and a question that probably should have been asked already, but the question of how long were they in the swamp wash before we found them, Ginger? If they were there all day, they couldn't have done it.
Well, there were signs that they ran away from the town guard as they attacked our father.
There was signs that somebody with a blue beard accompanied by other people ran away.
Yeah, if we can find out how long they were at the swamp wash for, we can kind of figure out the in-between bits. But I was just thinking, how will we know when we found, say, something that clues Bluebeard to being a warlock? What does a magical thing look like? What sort of things does he use to cast magic?
His Bluebeard. It's obvious.
Speaking of Bluebeard, Neil, this particular blue-bearded person, is his blue-bearded fort? Is his Bluebeard fort?
Goes out in two.
The one that we
Right
found?
now, it's just a mess.
Okay. Do I recall if it was forked when I first ran into him?
I think it was.
Give me an intelligence check. If you can remember the specific detail. Can't quite place it in your mind.
Okay. Well,
do you guys have a plan or of something you want to execute now, or do you want to skip forward until he wakes up?
let me have some words with Brad again.
Okay.
Very good. I'm going to head to the tavern.
Luther, I look to Luther. Luther, will you accompany me to the sheriff's station? That way, if he's there, you can deal with him.
Yes, that's fine.
Oh, I'll go with you to the sheriff.
I fall behind Luther and Ginger. That way, when we go into the sheriff's office, it will be them that he sees first.
Right.
And I keep my head down, not making eye contact with them.
So we're just trying to figure out if his beard is forked.
I had a few questions for Brad.
Okay.
So you guys show up at the sheriff's station a little bit later. It's right next to the central market by the town hall. The sheriff is in there. You see Brad in one cell. You see this mysterious man named Bluebeard in the other. Although I think at some point you picked up his
Zane.
name.
Zane.
Zane. Yes.
Zane.
And you see the sheriff there picking his fingernails with a knife while a man stands in front of him. Luther, can I get a charisma check from you?
Sure. kill it.
Nice.
On the
You
most
recognize this guy that's standing in front of the sheriff. So you guys start to walk in. Sheriff's kicking back, picking his nails. This guy's talking to him while standing in front of his desk. They both notice you come in, and their conversation stops. The man who you recognize, but you're having a hard time placing right now, sets a bag of coins down in front of the sheriff, turns and kind of edges his way out between you guys and disappears into the streets.
So I just know that I've seen him before rather than knowing who he is.
Yeah, actually, you rolled a 32, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's pretty high. You recognize him you've seen him before at the brew house. You don't know who he is. He's not a member of your wife's family, but you've seen him there before.
So as he walks past, what does he look like?
Fairly nondescript. Middle height, average build, male, dark hair, shortish.
And he's just wearing common clothing.
Yeah, just wearing common clothing. He doesn't have any weapons on him. He doesn't carry a backpack. He just looks like a commoner.
All right.
You know,
Well, I think I'm a bit surprised to see someone that I recognize, so I'll make a mental note to go inquire about him later.
How big would you say this sack of coins is?
a decent sized sack, but if it's copper, it's, pretty worthless. If it's gold, it's a huge amount of treasure. If it's silver, it's a decent amount. But it could be a mixed bag of coins, without knowing the color of the coin, it could be anything.
Okay, well, I head into the sheriff's office.
How do they act when we come in? Do they act like nonchalant, like no big deal, or like, oh crap,
They
somebody's...
just stop the conversation that they're having.
Okay.
Maybe it was already at its end, or maybe it was a private conversation and they don't want to have it in front of other people. But it
Sounds
just
good.
kind of ends, and the coins get set on the table and he leaves. The sheriff looks up to you guys. He goes, well, that beast hasn't woken up yet, but...
Yes, well, we have a few words for Brad.
Oh, come back for more? Brad, your
Yes.
captors are here. I think they're ready to beat some more sense into you. What do you have to say to that? Brad looks up from his cell, timid and afraid after the last interrogation you gave him, which, if I recall correctly, was not very pleasant.
No, not very.
It wasn't bad. I think we got along well. We made friends.
Well, I'll let Ty head over to handle that, and while he kind of heads over there, I'll ask the sheriff. I swear I recognize that guy. Who was that?
Oh, an informant.
Ah, I see.
Anyway, I think he's right there. Do you guys need me to open the cell for you, or you want to talk to him through the bars? You don't need to get up close and dirty this time, do you?
I think Ty always likes to get up close and dirty.
The sheriff gets kind of a sickening grin on his face, grabs the keys off the wall, goes over and opens the cell while Brad shuffles back into a corner, pulling his knees up in front of his face and hunching down, looking up at you.
I go and sit down beside him and put my arm around him like we're buddies. And then I look to him. Brad, thank you. Thank you. You were a great help.
Can I go now?
No, not yet. But I do have some bad news. Do you want to know what my bad news is? My bad news is he was at the second place. They were at the second place we looked at. And then I look at him with a really, intimidating look. You remember our deal and what I said if he was at the first place? Your favor would go way up.
Well, I told you I didn't know where they would be.
It's okay. I'm messing with you, Brad. You did good. You did good. So let's recap on how things went down. So we went there. We found them by the Ruins Champions Hall. And when we first went in, I believe by my counts, there was 3 people killed. And then when we went down, we killed the chick, we killed some guy with a crossbow, and we kept Bluebeard alive. So that's 6 people. Our first encounter with your guys' gang, we killed 1, and we took you alive. So is everybody accounted for, or are we missing one person?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
man,
you got
Brad.
Murray,
Good
right?
man.
The guy with the birthmark on his face?
Did we get a guy with the birthmark on his face, Neil?
Maybe. I mean, a few days ago.
Maybe.
Give me an intelligence check, see if you can remember.
Oh,
I don't recall.
There was a lot of blood, you know.
There's a lot of blood, and really the main thing I remember is your people screaming. Yeah. Bluebeard was all like, "How did you find us?" I'm like, "Brad opened his big mouth." And he's like, "When I kill you, I'm going to kill Brad." And then I'm like, "No, I'm not going to let you hurt Brad. Brad's my bud. I like his name."
Yeah.
So,
Well, there were 8 of us total, right? Right. There's Rhea and Zane and the six of us. So
yeah, that
1,
is 8.
2,
But
and
I
6
think-
is 8, right?
I think I part of me remembers you saying there was originally 9. Are you lying to me? Because you're not going to get away if you're lying to me.
Look. If there were 9, there was a mistake. I got hit in the head, and there was torture, and I was scared. And look, I think there's 8 of us. There's been 8 of us. There's always been 8.
Okay, we're friends, Brad. We're friends. And I kind of like pull him in closer to me. So, Brad, let's just chat. You guys like the Swamp Wash where we found you? Like, you guys go there a lot? It's a nice place. I think we've gotten pretty well with Belle. I think our family's pretty good friends with Belle now. You guys go there a lot?
Sorta.
Cool. How long were you guys there? Like when me and Ginger first barged in there, how long were you guys there chilling? Like, did you guys just like run in there off the streets? Like, yeah, we just attacked that noble and stole all of this stuff. So now we're gonna have a good drink. Tell me how.
Kill me!
it
You're
went.
gonna kill me! You're gonna kill me!
Brad, I'm not gonna kill you. And then I whisper in his ear, I'm gonna get you out.
We had just gotten there. We
That's good. That's good.
just
So-
crossed the bridge and ran through the market and made our way there.
So I think I have 2 more questions for you right now, Brad.
And then I can go?
No, I'm gonna have to get you out under the radar. And I whispered that in his ear again. You know how these things work, Brad. So, question number 1. That guy who was in here before my family got in here, have you ever seen him before?
The sheriff goes, "What sort of question is that? That has nothing to do with your investigation. Why don't you continue the questioning in the
fair
appropriate
enough.
line?"
Fair enough. And then I look back to him. I look to Brad, like, give him like a look like it's a question, answer it.
His
Yeah,
eyes are
no.
wide. He's, what's he gonna do? Answer you and get beaten by the sheriff later? He's shutting up.
Okay, now my next question for you. My last question. Everything you guys stole from my family, the backpack, the book, the gold, the silver, the copper, where is it?
I don't know.
This is the most important question I have for you.
I don't know. I wasn't in
Where is
charge of it.
everything? Well, what would you guys normally do with
Look,
a massive ball like this?
You caught me before I know where it went.
You must have an ideal. You must have an ideal because right now where things are, we've completely ripped all of your guys' hideouts apart. Like there's like no planks, no pillows, no nothing left. It's all rubble, and what we found was measly crumbs.
That's not my. Look, man. I don't play at that level. I don't know. I'm not. That no one tells me this sort of thing. Probably for this very reason.
Fair enough, Brad. Thank you. I will remember all of your help. And then my arm that I have around him, I take my other arm and like I rub his head, and then I get up and exit the cell.
The sheriff eyes you as you exit the cell. Don't overstep your bounds. This is still the office of the law here. I'm letting you do a favor by asking him. Don't you go poking your nose into business that ain't yours.
So, Sheriff Bruce, what have you found from him so far?
Remember this piece of filth?
Yeah.
Only that he's a coward.
Well, yeah, we can all see that.
Yeah.
My brother Ty here is actually trying.
Well, case is closed. You guys caught all the members of the gang, killed them all except for the witch over here, who we're gonna burn as soon as he wakes up and the Countess gets in town. Case closed.
No. The muggers, they stole. They didn't just assault our father, they stole from him.
Well, you heard the guy. He doesn't know shit. That guy over there might know something if he ever wakes up.
I'm not so sure you have any voice of authority on who knows what. When we first got here, you got nothing out of this man, and I looked to Brad. And in a matter of minutes, he caked and he fell right into my hands, and he told me everything.
Mm-hmm. You think you're pretty hot shit, don't you?
You know, as much as you hate it, I may not have been born into this family, but as much as you hate it, I am a son. I am a son of Lord William Thorne. And you may have a badge, but you're still a peasant.
Luther is visibly uncomfortable and impatient right now.
Well, my lord, if I may say with, your worshipness, I must be getting back to my business. I am not worthy to be in your presence, so you had better leave my little peasant hovel, and I will do my best to help you however I can in the future, but please, my hovel might give you fleas. Why don't you step on out?
I get in physical distance of him, get up on him. I'm like, I don't know what your problem is with me, but I've done nothing.
I step between them.
I treated you with the utmost respect.
Move him out of the building.
While he's pushing me back, I'm still talking. I treated you with the utmost respect and dignity. I shook your hand.
Out of the building.
I praised you, and
out of the building.
No, you've
Door's closed.
You're talking to a shut door now.
Okay, so as Luther pulls Ty out of the building, I'm gonna just smile and look to the sheriff let me know when the witch wakes up, and I'll come speak to him, and have a good day. Bye.
Not all there. All right, you guys, it's later that day. Any plans, or do we want to skip forward in time? There's lots of time to pass.
I'm gonna head to the swamp wash alone once everybody's asleep.
Okay.
I'd like a conversation with Father.
Okay. You're gonna go to the swamp wash once everyone's asleep?
Yeah, or everyone's occupied and doesn't know what I'm doing.
In the meantime, Stefan, you went to a bar, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's correct.
Anything in particular you're doing there, or just that's what your character does in his free time?
Yeah, I mean, I also follow my father's passions, so lots of drinking recently, whoring, gambling.
Fantastic. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's do. I think it's Tyberodite. He's got more things to do. So Ty, you go speak to your father. Are you doing this alone, or are you doing this with your siblings nearby?
I would like to make sure that even during my father's retirement, that he gets a good meal every day, a good different meal every day, because I know he loves food, and so does Ginger. So I will head to a restaurant to order, something on a plate.
Okay.
Bring to him.
All right. You bring him something delicious. And Ty, are you doing this other scene alone?
She can be there. It's cool. Father. So, trying to piece everything together with this whole Bluebeard gang.
Did you catch him?
We did, but I have some concerns. You say you were blinded by sorcery, by magic, right?
Yeah. Man with the blue beard shows up, I go blind, and then people start beating on me. Dude, that's not magic. I don't know what the hell is.
Would you say with utmost certainty that it was magic that did this to you?
Did you just hear a word I said?
No, I understand, Father, but the reason...
You know, I've checked the eyes. His eyes are working. They look perfectly fine, just like me and you.
I understand that, and I see that, but that worries me, Father, because we caught the Bluebeard man. We have one of his gang members that we've been questioning for a few days. My time questioning him, he absolutely convinced that no one in their gang have powers of sorcery. And then when we attacked Bluebeard and at his headquarters, nobody tried to blind us or use sorcery or anything like that on us. I think it would be very easy. I think someone with a Bluebeard could easily be set up.
Set up? You saying that he didn't really attack me in the streets? And didn't really steal my money, didn't really beat the shit out of me, and really didn't blind me?
I believe that somebody with a Bluebeard did attack you. But if you're going to attack a noble and steal from them, it would be completely stupid to do it during the day in the middle of the street. Two, if you're someone with a distinguishing blue beard, you're going to do it right by the noble estate. Like I think it could have been very easily for someone to set them up. I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into things, but if it was a setup, then something more diabolical was at work. And it wouldn't have been a random act of violence. It would have been something.
Who would set up a gangster? Why not just, how could someone set them up? Can you explain to me a plausible situation?
If you're going to attack a noble, I think the best way to do it would be to frame somebody else.
So you're saying someone wanted me dead, and so they hired a sorcerer and set up a gang?
I don't know, Father.
You're saying I've got an enemy who's a sorcerer and set up a gang to attack me in the streets, and then just use their magic. Like, why bring magic into it at that point?
Yeah.
Is it possible that somebody knew what you had, Father? I believe you are attacked because of what you had. If it was something purposely, something more diabolical, I believe it would have been because of the loot from Nixon. An ancient tome.
Look.
Is there anybody
Kel Rugsbin Grindle is the only person that I spoke to, well, him and his family, before I showed up here with that big bag of gold and silver.
Is it possible that they would stoop to something like this? I don't really know them, Father.
Grindles? Trying to kill a man in broad daylight? I mean, I know their family's on pretty hard times. And I know they don't particularly like us, but setting up a noble in the streets? That's definitely
I know this,
plausible.
Father. I know this. We have Bluebeard in custody.
Have you questioned him?
Days he's out cold.
Well, go find out more information.
Yes,
I've got
Father.
very important things to do here, he says, sitting in his bed like he's done for the past week straight.
Also, Father, I would have you know that I know long-term things are still not set, but I will have you know that with all the loot we've pulled in from investigating this gang, we have enough finances to cover 2 months. So
Excellent.
We are getting things rolling, and we are going to take care of everything, Father.
Good, good. I was worried. I had this sneaking suspicion that a lot of you would just wander off into the swamp to try and find money and get yourselves killed, but glad that's not how it went.
No, Father, only a fool would do such a thing.
Amen.
Father, have you ever been to the swamp?
Of course! Many, many times.
Is it good there?
No, the swamp is a
Doesn't sound good.
shitty, miserable stink hole. Never go there unless you got a good purpose. Now, there's a
I
lot
hear
of
there are
goblins in the
giant
swamp,
slugs.
and you know, there's good reasons to be there, but it's not a vacation home. I'd steer clear of it unless I got a particular reason. Not to mention, there's things walking around there that aren't living no more.
How would such a thing happen, Father?
Same sort of way I
Magic?
got blinded.
Oh,
Dark
What if-
sorcerers.
if the sorcerer's in the swamp, then actually they're not a part of this. Let's not bring more magic in here. No.
See, a witch,
Is there
though,
any-
you put it to death.
Yes. Is there anything I can get you, Father?
Cold beer.
I nod my head and fetch him a drink, and I think that's all I needed.
I also think that's all for this first hour of gameplay, so why don't we come back on the other side of our break with a little bit more Age of Strife. You guys might also notice that the stream is going to go down during the break. Don't worry, it's going to come right back. See you guys in a bit. Bye.